YouTube, what it do, loved ones? You know the motto: if you can, after the story, hit me with the like, which is the thumbs up, and that'll let me know I'm kicking my stuff. I had a viewer comment on 89 on up, homie, and asked me was I knowledgeable of the shotgun Crips, homie, out in Gardena. And ever since I was young, homie, and really got really hipped into the gang thing, homie, and kind of seen what it was and knew what it was, homie. I was always kind of fascinated with them dudes, homie. Not just on they fashion, but just on, what I'm saying, how they gave up their turf, homie. And they gave up their turf with like two fingers closed like this, if I ain't mistaken, like a double barrel shotgun with the C sign, homie. And I always was like, nigga, that's kind of like a hard name for some Crips, and how they gave it up, homie. Part of their turf, how they gave it up. And then their name was always fashionable inside the Damu community, homie. And what I mean by fashionable is because a lot of blood hoods, homie, at that time in them early 90s and stuff like that, we was known for dissing a lot of rip hoods through firearm weaponries, through cannons, homie. And at that time, homie, I'm not gonna diss because I'm older, so I'm gonna just spell it different. I'm just gonna say NOT, not gun. So when you was young, you would hear a lot of dudes, probably had like, straps like that, shotguns. Dude, the homies would diss and say, not guns, homie. You know what I'm saying? I got a not gun. You know what I'm saying? So they name was always brought up in some of our beat all communities, homie, through weaponries, homie, because like I said, Bloods, we was kind of known for dissing Crips through firearm weaponries and stuff like that, homie. So anyway, that's how I come into grips with just always knowing about the shotgun Crips, homie. And then I think even in the song, in one of them banging on wax songs, the Big Wide them on one of them songs, this the shotguns, homie. So like I said, they name was always up, homie, as being a functionable a name that blood stayed hearing through firearms and then later on through the homie rap song. So anyway, homie, coming up, we used to kind of, you would hear certain names, homie, brought up, or if you kind of right up under the big homies and the OG homies and did a little riding, you didn't heard some of these names and roll with on the homies on with against some of these dudes and vice versa in this thing, homie. And a few of they homeboys I could just, throw up, homie, that was riders through their thing, and names kind of circulated. You had a Petey Wack, you would have a Winos, you would have a OG Mac from their turf, and he was known for the triple goals in the 4 Life Mac 10 video. And you got the Sparkies, and then you would have Big Bird Legs was a rider. You would hear about his name throughout certain community areas of this thing. Big Bird Legs, and then you had Little Bird Legs, homie, aka Cowboy. He was a dancer for the females at a strip club, the Right Track, homie. You know what I'm saying? But don't get that twisted. What I said, cause dude was a squabbler and dude was with the business for his turf, homie. It was said through the females. The dude to come out with some chucks and boxers and banged out on them and get some bread out of them, homie. And like I said, and also what kept them dudes, kind of like on the map and being a conversation piece, because they had a Earl Shive that's connected to a strip in a turf, homie, over that way in Gardena, that a lot of dudes throughout the LA community took back in the days and got their cars painted up there. Back in the days, they used to paint the shit out some cars up there, homie. You know what I'm saying? Before they got cheap with it, and all that. But a lot of dudes, legendary dudes, we took our cars through there, homie. And also they had two luxurious spots where bad females, you know what I'm saying, hosted that at one time, homie. And that was the First King, I believe, homie, up in their turf over in that area, connected to Hawthorne too, and the Barber Coast, homie. So, we always, heard of them dudes and knew about them dudes and seen them dudes, like I said, through them luxurious spots that they had with females hosted, doing dancing. And then you can't forget about they high school and stuff that they, had scrimmages with the homies from Centerview Power Rules. Homie, I think that's one of their worst blood hoods going back to that way would be the Centerviews, I believe, homie. So the homie, them dudes from Shotgun, they have been known to have altercations with Bloods back in them days and shit. And then you got to think Hawthorne right there. So you had the Hawthorne Power Rules at one time. And then you had that First King right there, homie. So altercations then went up, homie. Then you had the Inglewood Power Rules and stuff that go in there. Then you had Westside Power Rules, OG Tom Slick and them back in the days, 90s. They'll come through there, homie. So, that spot was like a cool zone, but also it can go up at any time, homie. It been known to go up, and dudes have been laid down and shot up at them spots, homie. Even though Gardena police would be hot, tripping, it was still known for people, to go down, get took down, and exchanges sometimes. But up inside them clubs, homie, you would have a lot of G Crips, a lot of G Bloods, homie, that did a lot of juvenile hall time together, YA time together, county jail time together. So sometimes them dudes will be up in there and can nod their head, holler, what's happening, homie? What's up? Shake hands, keep it moving, because, a lot of dudes kind of that went up in there was on good standards with one another doing our banging careers or doing their banging careers, homie. And like I said, homie, them dudes were so close to them spots, homie, they'd be there 10 to 15 deep some nights, homie. And if you out of bounds or you took the wrong homie up there that day in they turf, homie, and a homie got bent or belligerent, and them dudes bumped out faster than us or something, homie, or was able to speed dial somebody and say them dudes still up here. By the time you hit the parking lot and try to get on sometime, it was known that, I'm not going to just say the Shotguns, but it was known for the Crips over by that way in Gardena, connected to they strips, was known sometime to come back and go heavy on some dudes, as well as dudes been known to go heavy on Shotgun Crips, homie. So Shotgun Crips was never like no punk Crips. They was just in a, kind of like a shaded zone area, homie. But also they was aligned with some of the Hoover cliques, homie. So don't get it twisted at any given time. Sometimes you would have them dudes back in the days be allied together in a move a crowd, homie. Things of that nature, homie. But that's just what I could kind of like speak on, homie. And what I had knowledge on the Shotgun Crips, homie. You know what I'm saying? 89 on up, G stuff, not Ye stuff. And I'm just sending it, homie. I'm out.